yeah, this just exacerbates all the illegal activity that's going on. There's a facility there that's illegally storing trees. These large tree bases. It's probably the person that made the payment to Councilman Velez to push this agenda forward. But I don't understand why he's moving. This is the fourth item he's pushing in the first ward in that same area. There must be a handsome payment that he.
All right. I just want to say that it is an honor and a privilege to sit before you all today. That I will do my best to represent my ward in a mature, responsible way. I am open and available for anyone in my ward who would like to speak with me and meet me. And I look forward to making sure that the votes that I make are something that is equitable for the city of Flint as a whole, not just the 7th ward. Thank you.
You cussed out an ordained pastor who serves the community food every week, has a clothing bank, who gives mental health services to the entire community, gives veteran services. You cussed him out like he was a two-bit tramp on the corner.
That he was out of order for speaking while somebody else was, or while he was speaking, three of you were having a conversation.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
And we're sitting here watching that. But what get me is how the Negro is treating each other.
Come on now. Come on, brother.
That changes my tone and my attitude. I know when somebody's screwing me around.
All right. So, Mr. May.
Miss Lewis.
So as we go forward to vote on the consent agenda, everyone has made their separation.
This is an appeal not on Ashley Capital. It's an appeal on you giving me a first warning. Your brain can't remember nothing, can it? Madam Chair, she's out of order talking to me. I got the floor, Miss Machak. You out of order. Point of order. Stop the clock. I'm on a point of order, and she's steady talking to me down. You out of order, Miss Machak.
Wait a minute, Mr. May.
Check her.
No, I don't check you. That's not my job.
Well, you warned me. Warn her then.
I didn't hear anything.
I did. You were too busy talking to Quincy versus chairing the meeting. I don't have to argue verbally with Miss
Point of
Machak.
order denied. Please proceed. Go ahead.
Miss Machak, I'm going to let you know. I make light of that. I don't need you interrupting my thought pattern because I'm criticizing your voting pattern.
Terrence, you know what's up? You know what's up? I'm like, what are we in the schoolyard about the nuck if you buck? I'd never seen that. So even with your behavior, I didn't even submit that to the ethics board. I didn't even ask for you to be removed. I did not, because I thought we were going through, and I hope that clap isn't condescending that you were doing, because she's up here clapping like it's condescending. You cussed out Pastor Thompson. You called him every word that it was. And since number one, we don't have any decorum because everything has been called. You told him shots fired. You called him a sorry ass pastor. You called him a motherfucker twice, 2 different occasions. So when we talk about people cussing, you do it. But then you get up here like it's a throne, like you do it. And then you tell people you hate me. I have no problem with being disliked. Not at all.
I love when people put their thought patterns on the record. You got 2 council people want to suspend me for calling them handkerchief head Negroes. They could suspend me for 30 to 60 days. They're going to still be handkerchief head Negroes. Google it, look it up. That's not going to change me referring to them that way.
So let's stop spitting fake narratives from our seat just because you can. And so again, if you would like a vacation, put a motion on the floor and take one. But I am not going to remove my colleagues.
Request information. You are, Madam Chair, because I'm getting ready to check you.
Oh, please hold.
Yes, I am. Because
Please.
you cannot abuse of your seat.
That's supposed to
Okay, you cannot. You cannot abuse your seat.
Okay,
and you are abusing
so
your seat.
with that being said, that's your other warning. And what's the point? What's the point?
I appeal the ruling of the chair. We can do this all night.
But when somebody take the floor, you gotta stop it. And I can replace. Oh no, that's how that goes. She does not have the floor. Now, that's one thing I do study, senior council lady, is this. and you can't do that. So with that being said, Ms.
Point
Burns,
of-
that's your
point
second
of
warning
order.
for taking the
I
floor.
appeal the ruling of the
Please
chair.
feel free.
Okay?
Please feel free.
You
And I'll
sound
support
ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, appeal, there you go. Ms. Burns cannot illegally take the floor using requests for information that are not valid. That's the appeal. Go ahead, Ms. Burns. Ms. Burns.
Thank you, it is too much. Let me tell you something, Liddell. You are so rude, and it's just, you're terrible chair. Absolutely awful chair that you are. And don't you ever feel free to comment on who somebody's grown, because your behavior's not depicting that right now. It's not. You are so out of control, and it's shameful. It's shameful. I'm very clear. I can work with whoever, but what you will not do is come here and spit these little lines. If you want to put Councilman Mays out, then fine, but don't you defend that behavior down there. Don't defend that, because that was all sorts of wrong, and you defend it. And I read verbatim what she put. I was clear, so she told a lie. I'm bringing receipts. That's a receipt for you. That is your post, keyboard gangster, that you made on there. You did that to a person who is a known racist. So when you side with racists over nonsense, something is wrong with you. Something don't completely check. You don't check all boxes. And you're going to stop all that mess. You need to stop it. You have responsibility as a chair to chair fairly and to be impartial. You don't have the capability of doing that. That's why Attorney Katina Irvin in California, she read you. She read you and stated to you some of the things that you don't have. Miss Lewis, I asked of you, what is it good power if you are too afraid to use it correctly and righteously? You abuse your power as a chair. Can't nobody follow you because you're not a leader. No one's going to follow behind you. And then you're going to threaten me over 30 days. You can do a 30-day, go home. You didn't elect me. Understand that. I did the work and helped you get elected when you was in the water lines with me. So you need to understand where you come from, because I do. I know which box I check, which is black. Yours might be in question right now. You didn't support your board with pump station number 5 when they had sewage in their basement. You cussed out Pastor Thompson twice, an ordained pastor. You said, no, that ain't lying. You said black people in your ward didn't golf. Lord have mercy. I got a pair of golf foot. I golf. And Kathy McGowan golfs, and several other people. You took money from Haskell Center as the ad hoc. You know where the secret ARPA committee is meeting and wouldn't tell anybody. So when we talk about you being a leader and you in a leadership role, that down there was not leadership. You're the vice president of this council. You have a responsibility to bring this council together, not your fabulous friends or whoever. You lack the courage to put Eve out. I put Mays out 5 times. You have never put her out because you lack the courage to do it. Even when she told you, go ahead, put me out. You still didn't do it. So when Ms. Katina Irvin wrote that letter, who is an attorney in California, you should have used some level of constructive criticism and apply it to yourself. You need to do that. Because as a black woman in this community, we expect better. You coming on here attacking me, which is crazy. And my second one, look, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Time. All right. So she's going.
I'll be
That's
leaving
fine.
as well.
That'll work too. Anyone else would like to
Listen
speak
to that.
on
And
the
you're a
appeal?
chair. You're chairing this
Anyone
meeting.
else would like to speak on the appeal?
Keep yelling. If all of us keep yelling. Let me.
Council President.
Before I give it to Councilman Jackson, 1 second, Councilman. I'll acknowledge you. I'll call your name, and you will be able to speak. You will be able to. This item.
Thank you, Malachi.
Let's
Council President.
Okay.
We need to do some city business.
Council President.
Let's do payments of
Council
bills.
President.
Madam Clerk.
Council President.
He asked for the
I
floor.
requested the floor
I said
first.
I said I'll acknowledge you. You will speak right after the payments of bill. Payment of bill, Madam Clerk.
Wait, hold. Point of privilege. Point of privilege. Councilman Jackson asked to speak before Councilwoman Cotton, and he should have spoke first before her.
Councilwoman Mims, you are
Council
out of
President,
order.
You're
Councilwoman
wrong. You're
Mims,
out of order.
You are
You're out of order.
You are out of order.
You're out of order.
Out of order. I acknowledge
Councilman
him.
Jackson asked, and you
I
said to
acknowledge
him,
him.
you said
I
to
acknowledge
him, you
him.
will speak next. You said
You
to
will
him.
speak next.
No, you said that, and then when
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton lifted her
Right
hand,
after-
you overlooked him.
right after
He should
payments
speak,
of bills,
he
he
should
will
speak
speak.
before payment of bills.
I never
He
said.
should speak before
I
payment of
never.
bills.
You are out of
Councilwoman.
order.
Council President, do the right thing.
Councilwoman.
You want to take over
Do
the
the right.
meeting?
No.
I don't mind. I don't
I
mind.
am
waiting till the-
suspending the meeting
Well,
right now.
good. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Good night. Good night. Go ahead, Councilman Jackson.
I will not sit at a table with Liddell Lewis and discuss anything. Unfortunately, I'm sitting up here next to her right now on this council, and what's funny? I don't like you, but I gotta work with you on this council. But I will never sit on the ad hoc committee with you. And yes, maybe Councilwoman Worthen is not the best choice, but hopefully she will learn something in working on this ad hoc committee, and maybe it would humble her, and maybe she'll learn how to think about those who need second chances and fair housing. No, it's probably not the right choice, Councilman Mays. But you know what? We'll see. But really, the ad hoc committees, I don't really know, because none of them have really done the job that they were supposed to do as far as reporting back to council. So we'll see. We'll see. Thank you. And with that, my vote will be, I will be abstaining because I'm not sure about Councilwoman Worthen. I'm not sure.
Thank you, Ms. Winfrey Carter. Any more discussion in the second round?
Second round.
First round of sending the motion to council. Dr. Lewis,
Thank you. So it is very unfortunate that the fifth,
Point of order.
which point?
Is this the first?
This is the first round.
Didn't she speak in the first round?
No, she spoke on the amendment. This is the motion to send to council.
okay, so it is very unfortunate that the fifth ward refuses to work with the second ward. But it's okay, because the work will continue to get done. I don't have to say anything else. She said everything that needed to be said, and you all heard everything that needed to be heard. She refused to sit at a table with me, even if that involved moving the city forward. She refuses to work with me. She don't even want to be on the council with me, let alone the ad hoc committee. This is what the fifth ward said about the second ward. So if the fifth ward refused to work with the colleague for the betterment of the city of Flint, I think that definitely needs to be duly noted as we move on. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Any more discussion in the
Yes,
first round?
Mr. Chair.
And you've already spoken the first
Yeah,
round.
Mr.
You've already spoken the first round.
Oh, are we in the first round?
We're still in the first
Okay.
round. Any more discussion in the first round? Any more discussion in the first round? Second round,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mays.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I don't like Ms. Lewis' style. It's duly noted, if you use the term, Ms. Lewis, that you seem to always want to tell a chair something to warn somebody and throw somebody out. But you do the same thing. That's called hypocritism. I don't care how you fix your voice and how you talk, you down people. Not only the preacher, but me, Miss Winfrey Carter, you just did. And so we getting used to it. I don't like your style. And your style goes along with you. I told them earlier in the other meeting, me and Miss Winfrey Carter and Miss Burns met with you before you were sworn in. You showed me something bad in less than 8 hours. It ain't just you. We went and knocked doors in Priestley's ward. I helped get signatures in Viper, stood on the post. Y'all are some bad-spirited people, as far as I'm concerned. You think Miss Winfrey Carter don't like to sit by you. I don't either, because I hear everything you be saying. You be looking, laughing. I don't like dealing with you. Yeah, I ain't made that up in my mind over a 2-week period. You got elected in November, December, January, February, March, April, a year and about 5 or 6 months. You moving around handing out resolutions to people, politicking. In my opinion, you're back and forth between Flint and Maryland. I don't even look at you as real. I don't think you're real. And then all these speeches and proper talking you're doing, I think it's a game. And I'm gonna prove to people it's a game. I done picked up part of your ward. I'm getting you leftover, undone work. Residents calling. As a matter of fact, you done had 1 or 2 calls, because they tell me. So, we Christians up here, Baptists, just like the preacher you cussed out. Miss Winfrey Carter, Christian, Baptist, you's a nasty black lady. You told me over at the county, walking past me, whispered in my ear to me, your mama, Rosie B. May's been dead. I thought that was terrible. But I'm gonna tell you, the people don't know you. You can't continue to fool people and then come up here and talk condescending. Probably when I get through talking, Miss Winfrey Carter gonna tell you something about what you just said. You make your own bed and you lying. My job is to tell you about it, because you ain't fooling me. You're sitting up here close month after month, acting a fool, talking, trying to get people throughout. Madam Chair, I warn you, you made a debacle of that meeting over at the county. Appeal after appeal legitimately. You ain't right. I want the whole city of Flint to know you ain't right. I seen you on TV hanging around Swanson them, Sheriff Swanson. We don't know you, but we have learned about you. You's a nasty, deviant black lady moving around talking about your colleague in the Fifth Ward.
What's your point?
Talking derogatory about a colleague, nasty, devious black woman.
Mr. Mays, please keep it germane to the subject.
I do think it's germane. When I hear her talk about her colleague in the Fifth Ward, I don't talk Fifth and Second Ward. I say your name. If you talk about how bad it was for the Fifth Ward council person not to want to deal with you, I don't say the Second Ward. I say Liddell Lewis. I say your name. I don't want to deal with you. You can put me in your conversation, because I know you done did some nasty, deviant things. And I don't think you're going to stop. Cussing preachers out, trying to get people throughout of meetings, ruling wrong, being biased. That's some nasty, deviant political activity by you, Miss Lewis.
Any more discussion in the second round?
Yes,
Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Mr. Chair, and I'm gonna keep it short. And I'm gonna say what I gotta say. You know what? And thank you, Mr. Mays.
You're welcome.
And yes, I want it put on record that I do not want to work with Councilwoman Lewis. I refuse to work with Councilwoman Lewis. And I'll say it again. Her spirit is bad, her energy is bad. And anyone that would cuss out a preacher, a pastor in this city, a pastor whose church is in the Second Ward, she cussed him out not only 1 time, but 2 times. No, I don't want to work with her. I I don't even want to sit up here next to her. And really, should she even be sitting up here? Should she have been sworn in, Councilman Mays? That's the question. Did she sign an affidavit saying that she lived in the second ward for a whole 1 year, 12 months? That's the question.
Point of order.
What's your point?
This is not germane.
Oh, it's germane.
I will say it is, given that the resolution is to appoint a council member to a certain committee, I would believe that it's germane.
Yeah, it's germane. So are we going to be able to move the city forward without the second ward council person? Yes, we will. But no, you're right. I don't want to work with you. I'll never work with you. That's not saying that I'm not willing to move this city forward. I don't have to talk to Councilwoman Lewis. She don't talk to me. And I'm serious, I'm curious. Why was it that I was put on a committee with Councilwoman Liddell Lewis? I never said I wanted to work with her.
A request for information cannot be ignored by the presiding officer, but the presiding officer, upon hearing the request, may decide whether the request is legitimate and can proceed, or whether the speaker is misleadingly utilizing this motion to secure the floor for other purposes. It was very clear in this case that Mr. Mays was not looking for clarification about this resolution being sent to council. As such, I will be voting in favor of the chair.
Thank you. Any more discussion in this appeal?
Point of order.
What's your point?
Mr. Mays is standing in front of me in an intimidating manner, and I don't understand what's going on.
I'm just staring at you, looking at you,
Mr. Mays, you don't have the floor. I don't believe standing there is not a violation of any rule. Any more discussion in this appeal?
I'm really kind of particularly scared. So I do put on my mask. I try to take it off when I have to speak, but we're really close up here, and you know.
I did try to get the floor because I'm trying to be quick on my feet when it comes down to me wanting to call for the question, because we already had a discussion about this, right, already. So I wanted to hurry up and call for the question because my colleague in the first ward loves to hurry up and grab the floor. So when he try to grab the floor, he'll try to go and be like, hey, hey, and then get to grab the floor without you even acknowledging him being acknowledged, and then he'll just grab the floor and
Request
run.
for information.
What's your request?
Do I say, or do I say Madam Chair?
That's an improper
Thank
point.
you so
Proceed.
much. But I'm saying, you saying things that me and you don't agree with.
I'm telling them
As
some
I'm
facts.
sitting here,
Mr. Murphy,
that's
I'm
not
gonna rule
what-
you out of order and ask them police to have you moved.
It ain't no official meeting.
I wouldn't care what it is. You're
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying,
disrupt it.
but you ain't gonna sit up here and say that the
I'm giving you
application.
your first
Okay,
warning.
you can give me
Do not
another
talk over
warning.
me.
I'm just saying, you sitting
gonna
up here
keep
talking about an
I'm
application,
gonna give you
that
my
was not
second warning.
that was not the application
I'm gonna give you
process.
one last chance
Just
to let
saying,
me finish
you
what
ain't
I'm
giving me
saying.
no last chance. I'm just telling you that application was not the
Mr. Smith,
application that we told the
Mr.
residents
Smith,
that was gonna be.
Have y'all been instructed by the mayor
Yeah.
not to remove this man?
I'm not gonna sit up here and let you think we,
You ain't let me do nothing.
the applications out here and we told the residents that.
Y'all just
We never said that. Six of us never said that.
You got 4 police back there. I done
I'm
been
just saying,
removed
don't
5
sit
or
up there and
6
make it seem like
times
we said that
because
was
of
the application,
chair
no, it
asking.
wasn't.
Now I got somebody disrupting this
I
meeting.
know, I ain't disrupting the meeting, I'm letting you know
And
what
y'all
you're saying is
back
not
there
true.
for window dressing? Is this a different treatment with instructions by the chief and or the mayor?
We ain't even got a chairperson here, so
I'm chairing this
officially,
meeting.
how did you become the chair?
Because I'm the senior council person and no
Show me in the
officer.
charter where it say the senior council get the chair of meeting. Show it to me, and I got the charter in my.
Show me where you got no office or position of officer, just been
They go
here.
to charter right here, show me in the charter where it say the senior council shall chair the meeting.
So I want this recorded that we got both
I'm just
police
saying, you sitting up here giving out false information.
ruling him out of order, and they said looking at me like I'm a dummy, but then arrested me 3, 4, 5, 6
No,
times.
ain't no
and won't
nothing. He's
keep
sitting up here
order.
giving out false information.
No, I'm giving out
Yeah.
true information. You voted to stop
sure did.
the people from turning in
Because
applications.
it was not true. You
I
gave them
don't have
false
to sit
information.
with this
You
guy
gave them
like
false
this.
information 2 days before
Why
the
are y'all not
election. You were trying to
moving
win some
to
votes. That's why you put it out there.
Man, look,
Tell the truth.
I'm about to cuss him.
The applications was not the applications that we put out for people to get some help.
Point of order.
Don't say nothing, Tanya. Let this fool keep talking.
You a fool.
You a double fool.
Point of
I'm
order.
about ready to cuss. What's your point? Disapprove.
I just wanted everybody to calm down and cease talking.
You know why I'm not calming down? Because you got 4 police officers. Normally it's 1. Whoever chairing the meeting can keep order, and they looking at me like I'm a fool. Who ordered them to do that? Chief Green, Neely. I told you at the beginning the politics was in here. Now he done got nervous because I'm trying to
get nervous
open.
for what?
Why you keep talking? I give you your turn, give me mine. And then they gonna get
Nobody
theirs.
nervous for you.
You think I ain't nervous about you when Pastor ended up dead in your front yard?
The pastor ain't got nothing to do with
Pastor
this.
Hart got
That don't have nothing to do with this meeting.
The way you talking.
I'm just saying the pastor
I'm
is
gonna tell him.
rest in peace.
You're a former dope dealer, self-proclaimed.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
You wanted an agenda change? Mr. Murphy, you spoke earlier about an agenda change.
We don't have a quorum, so therefore I cannot entertain going into any agenda because we don't have 5 people here. So this is not an official meeting.
And that's correct. It's not an official meeting.
Hey,
Everybody up there know that it's not a quorum.
Hey, this guy is out of order.
That you should not be in here. At 7 o'clock, this will be closed because this is run by the administration. You all run the council chambers. We run this. 7 o'clock is shut down because
What up, council? I'm here to discuss artificial intelligence. AI is going to take all of our jobs and render us useless. And I, for one, am stoked. I hate jobs. I had a job once, and everyone there talked in weird voices. AI is going to 86 all of that, but we'll still need money. That is why I'm asking the government to step up and make sure we're breaded. We are proposing a small payment plan, or small PP, of $10G a month for every citizen so we can party and look hot and enjoy our free time. Now, we can't afford to just sit back and have AI bust through and not have a plan. We got to make sure people have food and houses so we can party and rage in peace. So instruct AI to pay all of us, and then you dudes can retire gracefully before you get replaced, and we'll see you at the beach. The bonfires will be epic. Everybody will be hot. Martin Luther King. Thank you.